Hello friends. So today we are going to discuss few other magic method, which is underscore underscore set and underscore underscore get. And using that you will also understand what is PHP overloading and PHP overloading methods. So for that, we first of all I have to explain few things, and then you will understand the purpose of what is the magic method underscore underscore set underscore underscore get. So let me make a class with the name of person, and now I will define the properties. One property, the scope of that property is the public. Another property make is the scope of age, and the scope of that property is protected. And another property, the scope of that property is private. So let me make the object of that class first. So make the object which is the person for that class. So now I have the object of that class. So first of all, what about if you will assign the values uh, to this property, that is the name, age and address. Let me try to assign these values. Let's say the name of that person equal to girl. Next, what will be the age of that person? So the age of that person, let's say 23. But if you will see here, it the PHP storm giving us the error that we cannot access the member property which is defined as the protected. Okay, let me try and let me try to execute that code, and you will see the difference. It when I will try to execute the PHP code, it also giving us the error, PHP fatal error, that we cannot access the property outside of the class. So I cannot access this property because the scope of that property is defined as a protected, and the protected variable only visible to within that class, and the class which extend the this class, which is a person class. Same for the private. If I will define a property which is a private, and let me try to access from here person, there is address, the property is address. Let me make that address value house number 1. And again, if you will see that the PHP storm giving me the error, you cannot access the private member because we are trying to access this property, that is a protected and private. The property is age and address outside of the class, and when we are trying to access this property outside of the class, we cannot, because the protected and the protected variable only visible to within that class are outside of that class, or all the classes which are extended by that class, and the private properties are only visible to the current class. So that why the PHP storm giving us the error. So this is, well, what about the overloading? When we are trying to access, or when we are trying to assign the values which are defined as a which are not accessible from outside of the class, right? In that case, these properties, the protected and the private property, which is the age and the address. So for that we will use the magic method which is known as underscore underscore set. Let me try to use that public function underscore underscore set. So when we this magic method is will be called, when it will call, when we are trying to access those property which are not accessible from outside of the class, like in our case that is a protected which is age and the private which is the address. So these are the two properties. Before that, when we before writing this class, this magic method, they are not accessible. If you will see that it is giving us the error, PHP storm is giving us the error. When I have written that class, no, the PHP is saying that we have don't error. So that means the magic method will call when we are trying to access those properties. So let me assign, so this attribute, which is a name, is the name of the attribute of that class. So you can write here like name equal to the value. Okay, so now we have assigned the values. When the age is called, this is representing this person class, and the curly bracket actually the property of that class. This is the name. When the first case is the age is called, you will use this age to assign to this person equal to the value which you will pass, which is 23. And when the address is passed, the name will become the address and the value become house number 1. So in that way you will assign those values to this person class, which is technically not accessible from outside of the class. And what about if you will trying to, now we have assigned the values, and what about that if we will trying to display the values? Let me write echo. First I will write the name. What is the name of that class? So let me write the name of that person. I will display on the screen, and let me add the slash here. So next line, next I have to display the age of that person. So the age is, let me write is age of that person, age. If you see that there is a red line, it is showing that the age, when we are trying to access, get the values of non-accessible properties, it is giving us the error. So know that we have to use the PHP magic method, because we are not setting the values, we are getting the values. So we will use the underscore underscore get method. So in that case we will return what we have to return, the property of that object. So in that case the name of the property will be given us to, so that is the name, and we will return it back. Let me duplicate this, and next we have to address. So we have to pass the address. Let me execute this code, and you will see that now we have name, age and house. So this is the way we will use to get the values which are actually not accessible from outside of the class, and we can access those properties and assign the values to those properties which are technically not accessible from outside of the class. And for that we will use the underscore underscore set underscore underscore get, and this is known as the PHP overloading. Okay, so now you will understand it. There is one last thing, we will not use only the underscore underscore set underscore underscore get to define properties. If I will make another attribute person, that is telephone cell number, let write a cell number, and cell number is 0303. Although if you see that the cell number is not defined in this case, but it will be use the PHP magic method to underscore underscore set. It will define, or you can say dynamically assign the cell number to this class or this person, and when we will trying to get this cell number, it is also accessible. Cell number, and let me write this cell number, and let me run one more time, and you will see that the cell number. So this is the PHP overloading and PHP you can overloading methods. What is that? PHP magic method use overloading methods, or overloading can be used by using the underscore underscore set and underscore underscore get, and they will be used to assign the values or get the values from a class which are not accessible from outside of the class, like age and address, because they are defined as a protected and private. And one more thing, we have dynamically adding a new attribute which is a cell number, although that attribute is not defined in that class, but using these two magic method we have defined them as a dynamically, so they will be accessible from outside of the class by using the PHP overloading or PHP overloading methods. I hope you understand that what is the underscore underscore get and underscore underscore get methods and how we will use them. Thank you so much.